Hey, so it's that time of day. I'm going to come on and do a general reading. And you know what? I just want to say, if you were guided to this message, I don't believe in coincidence, okay? And I just want to thank you for being a light. I want to thank you for being that positive force in someone's life. And I just want to thank you all for, supporting me, even the silent supporters, the ones that don't comment. But I do try to engage in your comments, and you guys lift up my spirit so much. And so from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you so much. And I have a channel message, you guys, and don't mind the way, I'm always changing the way it is, the way that it looks, but I'm fighting with the light today. So, it is what it is. So I have a channel message coming through, and I also want to, give a general reading just to see what may be going on with you guys. But for whoever this reading is for, is going to be somebody that has been on somewhat of a spiritual path, has been through a spiritual awakening. We go through a lot of them. We constantly are evolving. So the message that I have coming through today was so beautiful. And, it may be a bit, I don't know, you could be surprised by it, or you could not be surprised, because, it's what you're meant to be, a light, you're a star seed, you're here seeding positivity, you're here to awaken humanity, and you've been through it, okay? You keep going through it, and it's not easy, okay? It's not easy to become enlightened, because your reality of everything that you know shifts, and it's constantly shifting, and you don't see things the same way, but it also opens your eyes to the fact that there's so much more that we're connected to, so much, something so much bigger than just ourselves, but that we are a part of that. And so it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm getting here that somebody that like actually in your, growing up environment, is going through a spiritual awakening. Okay. And lots of times, we go through this process alone. So I'm not coming on here to tell you this so you can like narrow it down, who can it be, but just to show you how much work you're doing on yourself, that it's making an impact, okay? So I know that we're all, as you start to awaken, the reason that we go through this process alone and we're secluded, we go through isolation, is because we're all strategically placed on the planet in different places to lift up the vibration in that area for those around us that can't. So, we go through this awakening, we start to feel like we're crazy. Everyone, may treat us like we're crazy if we start to express this to people, because they haven't been through that experience. So you're there. We're all strategically placed, like all over the map, right? And that is why a lot of times you don't go through this process like holding someone's hand. You don't go through this process with your best friend growing up. You don't go through this process with your partner, your wife, your husband. When it happens, it happens. It happens because there, something usually is something that, is so, like, it's such an impact on your life, whether that's grief, whether that's some sort of loss, whether that's, loneliness, whether that's whatever it may be, that gets you to the point where you question if there's something more, and you hit sometimes, rock bottom, or you go through, a lot of people that go through like a really bad relationship will come out of it and they'll start to question, and they go through this spiritual awakening. So not only are you healing from that, but then you're healing generational trauma and all this stuff. So it's not easy, okay? So I just want to thank you so much for being a light, because the message that I was getting is that somebody that you actually know, it's not somebody that you're connecting with online, but somebody that is going through the experience now. That means that you have held the vibration so high, and you have opened your heart so much. I'm getting tingles all over. You have opened up your heart and anchored in that high vibration collectively where you are. And not only are you doing that for those around you that you don't know, okay, you're holding the light, the frequency in that area of your neighborhood, of where you live, of whatever reach you have online, anything, okay? Even those that you don't know, it ripple effects off of people. It bounces off people, and it keeps going, okay? So you could have an impact on somebody, and they could be uplifting, and they could word of mouth share that to somebody, and that is you impacting somebody. Even if they don't express, this is the person that said that, this is the person that I was inspired by, this is the person that made me happy. If you just were something that lifted up someone's spirit for the day that was walking around depressed, and you lit up their entire day and you made their day, then that ripple effects, and they go on and they're happy to everyone they meet, and that could ripple effect, and that could ripple effect, because somebody that you uplift could go off and uplift somebody else by just being themselves. Okay, so you start to realize that you are uplifting humanity by just being your true authentic self and having your open heart and spreading that love to others. Okay, I'm going to get to reading here, but what I'm getting here is that somebody that you actually know has gone through an experience. Okay, you may know who this is, but I'm not trying to get you to dig into it. Okay, that's not the point here. The point is keep being a light, because somebody you know, and I have a feeling they're still questioning it. So this is fairly new. Okay, this person's new to this awakening, but they're starting to question something more. Okay, and lucky for them, you know, they could be inspired by you, but they're still kind of closed off is what I'm getting here. Okay, so the more and more that you just continue to be who you are, to spread your awareness, to spread love and light, but not force it on anybody, you're uplifting those, and you're starting to make such an impact that the ripple is coming back to you. And now people that you have agreed to be social with, it could be, you know, like I said, friends growing up, somebody that maybe you distanced from, that you weren't expecting to talk to again, they're getting some sort of a ripple effect coming back around. And it's coming back around because you have anchored the light, you have anchored this positivity, and now it's coming back. And so for those of you that thought, I'm never going to, you know, be friends with the people I was friends with anymore, it's coming back to you, and these people are elevating up to you. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. As you know, you're constantly evolving, and you're waves ahead of them, right? But just keep being the light and be a positive force and be understanding, because you've been through it. You've been through this. And so if you have been through this, write in the comments, I've been through this below, to show people support. If somebody happened to come through this reading and they're new to the experience, they could be the person that I'm picking up on that is new to it. They're questioning it. They're not going to admit it to anybody. They may not reach out, but if they needed to reach out, they knew that they had someone to reach out to. They need to know that they've got a community of people, of supporters. Okay, so even, you know, for those that aren't close to you, because it's not going to happen for everybody. This is a very, very rare case here where you have been connected to soul family your whole life, but there was different levels of awakening, and somebody awoken before the other one, and it was to be a guide for someone else in your life that was going to possibly hit rock bottom, or, you know, go through an experience where they were gonna not be so afraid because they needed your support. They need to know that they have somebody to be a guide to them. Okay, even, you know, and be supportive. You know, don't force it and you know, try and scare these people off, because it's very scary, and it's a lot of time they have to go through this, you know, all the internal work has to be done alone, but you can be that support system. You could be that light, that to show them, you know, to light the path for the way, so they're not so lost. And that's what we're here to do. Okay, but whoever this reading is for, you hear that plane above my house? You have ripple affected out into the universe so much that it's waving back to you. So it is a beautiful, beautiful, I was about to say honor, but it is an honor for me to connect with people who are light, okay? And you guys uplift and support me all the time, because I'm not perfect. I still go through my waves of things, and I just feel like, you know what, I'm going to do a separate reading from this, but I feel like I'm supposed to pull from the Whispers of Love Oracle, because whoever I'm connecting with, you have such a beautiful heart space, okay? And I feel like, you know, it's not easy for you as well. I feel like you still go through it, and will constantly. I always call myself a student teacher. I'm meant to learn, and I'm meant to share those teachings with people, you know? And, you know, sometimes it's easier for others. I'm seeing a jet in the sky, and those are a special synchronicity for me. But it's not, you know, it's sometimes easier for others than, you know, some other people. I can spit that out correctly because this truck just sidetracked me. I got ADHD, you guys. So I'm like curving off in a different conversation now. But, you know, be that support system, no matter, you know, if it takes them a little bit longer. Just know that, you know, that's the ripple effect that you have. And it's such a beautiful energy here. And I just want to say that, you know, keep doing what you're doing, because if you feel like you're not affecting people, or it's not making a difference, or you're not seeing any changes in your life, you're doing more than you realize. And it is such a beautiful, beautiful energy here. So, You know, you may have thought that you weren't making an impact, but you were. It's kind of like, okay, now I've awakened and I'm on this path now, and I'm on this path by myself, and all you see is, you know, this path, and it starts to curve. And now it's coming back to you, and it's coming back to you in ways that you never thought it would. So you were never meant to be alone, okay? And so no matter, you know, who it is that you are inspiring or you are awakening, it's doing more work than you think it is. And the more and more that you do the inner work, the more and more that you're just doing this energetically, and just by being yourself is changing the world. It's beautiful, beautiful energy, you guys. So whispers of love. Let me just see. You guys, I cut my finger today. If you can see that. I sliced my finger all the way up. I didn't slice my finger. Miss J did, because I flipped her upside down and she got spooked at the same time and went to take off. And she like used my hand as a, you know, kind of bounce off area, and her, yeah, it was a nightmare. But I wasn't even going to do a reading today, but I'm managing here. Okay, so what are the messages here? These cards. Okay, I feel like I'm supposed to pick this one. Love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this truth. So it's kind of like, it's the number 16 as well. I think I got this card once before. I've only used this deck a couple times. So this is you. You're like spreading the love, and it's coming back around to you. So like I said, you may not be feeling it or seeing anything in your external world happening yet, but these are the types of things that are happening. This is how much of an impact that you make every time you decide to heal. And that is the most like loving thing that you can do for anybody that you care about, is becoming the best version of yourself, even if it looks selfish to them at the time. Because you have to remember, a lot of people, you know, for most of us, we aren't going to, you know, really connect with a lot of people that we resonate with, but to, you know, become the best version of ourselves, so we can be that loving support system. And, you know, we work through our anger and our pain, and we have this open heart. We become like, well, obviously the chain breakers, okay, we're breaking the chain, we're breaking the curse of our family line, okay, we're not getting in, you know, once you go through this process, you learn how to not get into relationships that are going to be abusive. If you have children, you know, bring them into such a high vibration into this world that, you know, the chances of them going through something is going to be easier for them to get through it. So we're doing this for generations to come. There's a plane flying right above my house right now. I wish you guys could see it. But you're holding the light. You're anchoring the light. And, you know, it's all around you. So everything that you do is all around you. There's butterflies on this card. This could be a sign or synchronicity here. But you're doing this for your family and your generations before and after you. Okay? Like, you were the chosen one. And it's making more of an impact than you think. Number 16... as I was saying earlier, let me just get back to that again, is somebody who's having a tower moment. And you've been there. We still have tower moments, okay? It's going to constantly happen, but the more and more that you have them, the more and more you know how to navigate through them, right? And they become easier, and you step through that new door, that new portal, okay? Every single time you get through a tower moment easier. One that would have broke you or held on to you for years before is nothing now. You're just like, okay, that's a piece of cake. Little things, you become a problem solver, okay? And you may not even know where it comes from, but the more that you heal, you're like, okay, I can do that. I can, you know, handle this. This is nothing. And something that would have pissed you off before or gotten you so emotionally upset that it would have just, you know, ruined something. It would have ruined your day. It would have ruined, you know, your weekend. It would have ruined a relationship, anything, okay? So it's a beautiful, beautiful energy. Have faith. Trust your faith in this situation. So for those of you that question sometimes, is it worth it? It is, okay? And I'm seeing you, you know, if it's not somebody that you know, you're making more of an impact than you think, because even if they don't awaken fully, you're helping people see a different side of things. You're helping people change their perspective, even if they chose not to awaken in this lifetime, okay? But for most of you that I'm connecting with in this following, in this reading, that you are making such an impact that somebody that you know, you guys made an agreement to come back in this lifetime, okay? I just saw 444 on the timer since I had to restart the camera, but I'm seeing you being a positive force here, okay? So have faith. You have beautiful things coming. Choose love. Always, You always have a choice. Make yours with love. Okay, number 21. This also is telling me that some sort of cycle is ending. Okay, and you're awakening so many people just by choosing to keep evolving, to keep letting those wounds come up to be healed. Okay, and just being that, anchoring in that love. Okay, for yourself, for your environment, for your neighborhood, for whoever. Okay, so big things are happening, and you are going to be rewarded for this. It's not like there's a reward system like, ooh, I you know, woken somebody, but the fact that you're doing it for yourself and for the people that you care about, the universe is going to reward that. And some of those rewards are, you're going to get some of your friendships back, because you guys are going to resonate again. Okay, or you're going to align with those people that are on the same wavelength as you. Okay, and the ripple effect coming back to you is you guys are going to be, you know, connected here. So it's beautiful, beautiful things here. The number 12 is on here as well for some of you, so that could be a sign or synchronicity. I'm getting 12, 21 mirrored numbers here. Okay, so beautiful, beautiful energy here. And I feel like it comes at a tower moment. So, you know, somebody that you know is going through it right now, and they're going through some sort of a spiritual awakening, and it's because of you. Okay, so I know it may seem like disaster, and it may seem like their world is ending, but we've all been there, right? Or if you are the one going through this tower moment and it's new to a spiritual awakening, you've got so many people supporting you, and chances are somebody that you know is the uplifting person, somebody that you know who all of a sudden is so much more positive in their life. You never know. That could be the person that is your guide. And it's just, you may have seen somebody go through like a complete change in their life, and maybe they pulled away from, you know, your friend group. If you're the one going through the spiritual awakening right now, someone that you know could very well be your guide without even knowing it, you know? So hold on. It's a rough ride. You'll make it through it, I promise. I love you guys. Bye.